Shay, Celtic against Newcastle in July, two clubs very close to your heart. How much are you looking forward to this one?
Yeah, it should be a brilliant game. I think pre-season's obviously about getting the teams fit for the new season, but at the same time, when you're playing against two big clubs as Newcastle and of course Celtic, it's going to be a great game here at Celtic Park. I know the Newcastle away section, over 7,000 fans, have sold out already, so I'm sure it's going to be a great atmosphere as well. And I think, yes, pre-season, but I think once you cross the white line, you see a full Celtic Park, it's going to be a great game for both sets of players as well, and hopefully a great spectacle for the fans. As
I said, strong ties to both clubs. What's your take on Celtic's achievements this year, winning the double, progressing well in Europe under Brendan Rodgers? You've watched on. How did you view it all?
Yeah, another brilliant season, hasn't it been for Brendan? To win the double, of course, was a bit of a disappointment in the Scottish Cup final. But again, that's take nothing away from the double and the achievement of the points ahead of in the Premier League and the Premiership, as well. So it's been a brilliant season, hasn't it? And you mentioned as well the Champions League. I think the new format's been brilliant for Celtic as well, and I think the home games have been so important to the new league format of the Champions League, and how big a performances they played here at home, and of course some big performances away from home as well, and some real credible draws in the Champions League for Celtic this season as well. So again, that's about the club growing and of course the players believing that they deserve to be on that stage, and of course Newcastle Champions League next season as well. So this game sets up for two Champions League teams coming head to head pre-season, so it's the perfect fixture.
Newcastle United, they've really grown as a club. This is a team coming with really good players that can make an impact in the Champions League next season, but this is also a great test for Celtic as well, going into the Champions League, and I imagine for both clubs. What do you make of Newcastle, the season they've had, which has been another historic one?
Yeah, it's been amazing for Newcastle. 70 years of domestic hurt when it comes to trophies. They managed to get their hands on the League Cup, which is fantastic, and then finish off the season qualifying for the Champions League, and it's just the cherry on top. A brilliant season from Eddie Howe and the players and the fans. You see in the city, in the parade, there's over 300,000 fans. Turned out, they welcomed them back. So again, we all hope it's the start of something special at Newcastle, and that's going to give them the springboard to move on. I think the ownership as well has seen the scenes and seen they're at Wembley on the day when they picked up the trophy. I think that'll be ingrained in them for the rest of their life. So I think that'll spur everyone on to, for Newcastle to really compete at the very top of the Premier League, and of course in the Champions League as well. And maybe this game there might be a few new signings on both teams as well, and I think it's always an opportunity for the fans to come along and see the new signings and wearing their shirt. And from a Newcastle point of view, I hope that they're relatively busy in the market and can strengthen the squad for what we know is a tough campaign both in the Premier League and Champions League.
Talk about those new signings. One of them for Celtic is Kieran Tierney. As someone who's watched the Premier League with great interest like yourself, give us your reaction to Kieran coming back to the club that he loves.
Yeah, I mean it's a special journey he's been on, in the sense to come all the way back now. I mean, it's fantastic that he's coming back to Celtic, still very much in his prime. It's not that he's coming back at the end of his career. He's still got the whole career ahead of himself. Both, as Stephen said before, for Celtic and for Scotland as well. So again, his experiences in the Premier League, playing for such a big club in Arsenal, and what he's learnt under different managers, in Arteta, and the messages that he sends out every day to his players, and the standards that he set. I'm sure Brendan's no dissimilar to Arteta in the sense that the standards he sets here at Celtic as well. So I think Kieran's experience to the younger players and a sort of to come back and go, this is my club, and what it means to him and stuff. I know he's a die-hard Celtic fan, and I'm surprised that other clubs weren't fighting over his signature on a free transfer as well. So it's a great coup, I think, for Celtic to bring him back, and I'm sure he's really excited to put on the green and white hoops again.
You've spoken about the Champions League, Shay. This is for the Adidas Trophy in July, but should Celtic qualify for the league phase proper, would it be amazing to see them both meet in the Champions League phase?
Yeah, it could be a warm-up for the group phase game, be it at St James's Park or here at Celtic Park. Both fantastic stadiums and both sets of fans who just adore their players, adore the club, and are fanatical about watching big games. And there's nothing more special when players are lined up before a game, the Champions League music comes on and the place is electric, be it here or be it at Newcastle. So Yeah, it was set up lovely for a tie in the Champions League this season. Yeah, I hope it happens actually, because it would be a special night, be it here or in Newcastle. So yeah, this game on the 19th of July would be a bit of a warm up, as I said already. Even if they don't meet, you know, I think the opposition for both sets of players is tough opposition. It's what you need pre-season. There's no point in having loads of easy games coming into the first game. It's a tough game, so I think it's a big test for both sets of players.
Well, Shay, thanks for joining us here at Celtic Park.
No problem, thank you.